Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday morning of crafting time. We are playing with the St. Nicholas bundle all this week. So I've created a few cards and a few short videos already. I will do a recap on them after the video. Good morning, everyone coming in. My name is Alisa Tilsner. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and I'm feeling a little bit sad and sorry for myself this morning. I don't know why I do it to myself. This is self-inflicted, and no, it wasn't alcohol, although I think I should be drinking now. I tried some, not a different skincare, but an addition to my skincare, and I've had a reaction. Thankfully, my glasses cover most of it, but I've had a massive, big reaction only on half of my face. I don't get it. But all under here is all swollen and puffy and stings. I feel like I've been punched in the face. Every time I look down, I can just see skin because it's all swollen there. My glasses are sitting on top and making it a little bit sore, but it is what it is. I thought maybe I won't show my face today, but anyway, it happens. I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to figure out whether it was an eye care or a all over face thing. I don't know why it only happened to one side of my face and not the whole side of my face though. But anyway, that's me this morning, so I'm feeling a little bit flat, but let's start some card making. Maybe that'll pep me up, right? So let's get let me change my camera views and we can get right into it. There we go. So I am going to do a little bit of ink blending today. I thought, and just like 5 seconds before I had to hit the live button, I realized I'd forgotten to pull out a set of dies that I wanted to use. So I'll have to grab them in a moment. And some extra cardstock because I forgot that I wanted to do a rooftop scene. So this is the stamp set that we are playing with. Again, we're doing a whole weekly focus on this. Hi, Carla. And of course the dies that go with them. Now I am using up a stack of images that I have already colored. So I've got a whole heap of them. So I've got my old Saint Nick with his gifts and also his Santa sack. So I thought maybe I will do a rooftop scene at nighttime, obviously, and I will do a chimney, and maybe I can have the sack sitting on top of the chimney as if it was going to fall through. So that is what I have got planned. All right, so let's get some ink blending started, and I want to do the night scene. So I'm thinking I'm going to use Balmy Blue, Asia Afternoon, and then move into the Starry Sky. I haven't done this ink blend before, so we will see how it goes. And I think I'm going to start with my dark and then move into my light because I actually want to have a little bit of white showing down the bottom, so not off complete coverage. So I need to get my purple brush and my Starry Sky. So good morning, everyone's a little quiet today, or maybe it's just that I haven't put my I jumped straight into this view instead of you guys having to suffer through my skin issue. And of course, when I'm looking down now, all I can see is this big swollen cheek. So anyway, we'll start off with our Starry Sky. And because I want to do like the four, well, when I say four colors, I mean because I want to leave white at the bottom. I'm just going to go gently with this, and then I can flip back and forth. And you guys know that I absolutely love dark ink blending. So I'm hoping it won't take too long, although knowing me it might, because I want it really nice and dark up here. All right, now I've got to start switching between ink pads. So come in, say hello, don't be shy. All right, so now we're going to move into the Azure, and I'm going to start off a little bit. I'm just going to wipe off some of that excess actually, because I haven't blended these colors together before. Normally I've done the Orchid Oasis into Starry Sky, but I haven't done the blue. And it's going to look messy for a little while. Hey, Rose. It's going to look messy for some time, and then I'll come back and start fixing my blended areas. And then I've got Balmy Blue. Okay, as long as I don't get my brushes mixed up. And I want to fade the balmy blue out into a soft haze, although because I'm going to have my night scene, I'm going to have my chimney. It's probably going to cover a bit, but we need a rooftop as well. You can't just have a chimney without a rooftop, right? Good morning, Michelle. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so now is when I start. You can see how it's got some pretty harsh lines going through there. So now is when I start to come in and try and work those colors a little bit more. So I'll start back at the top with my purpley color, and because I want that really deep at the top there, and then I can bring that down into my azure afternoon. Try and get any of those little darker spots out of there. Okay, and then back and forth with my other color. And then I'll bring that up into my purple shades as well. Now I've gone a little bit heavy on that end. And I'll bring it a little bit down into that balmy blue, but I'm going to try and, now I've got a splodge there. Although I'm not going to be too fast because, you know, we're going to have our Santa and our chimney and all that sort of stuff in there. So all those little imperfections will probably get covered anyway. So just going to keep working. And now you can see that that harsh line that was there is working its way out. And now I've just got this harsh line to deal with. And also make sure that your fingers stay out of this, otherwise you'll transfer it down into your white area. Because this ink stays wet for longer than what you realize. All right, so now we'll do our balmy blue. And I'll start over the top of where that azure comes in. And just try and work over that area. Okay, and I have got fairly harsh pressure on. I'm taking the pressure off at the moment and just going backwards and forwards to soften that area there, because I don't want a harsh line there. So I've got very, very little pressure going on at the moment. And I can just pounce that back, like just swipe that backwards and forwards to soften that edge. It's just building up ink and building up ink and building up ink to get rid of those harsh lines. Okay. Tap off each time because you don't want to have excessy lines. Okay, I've still got a little bit of a line here that I'm not overly happy with. Hey, Deborah. Hello. All right, so I'm just going to go over the top of that. There we go. Now that's blending out nicely. I'm using a little bit more pressure. Tell you what, it's a good arm exercise, ink blending. And then I'll just come over with my azure a little bit more, take it down. And I reckon I'm pretty happy with the way that that has blended out nicely now. Okay, so I want a bit of a night scene, right? I'll pop that purple one back in there. Oh, everyone's quiet today. Must be one of those Thursdays where people are quiet. That's okay. I'm feeling a little quiet today too. All right. So I'm going to get some white now. Where's my white? There we go. And I'm just going to have a look and see how much ink. Right. So I'm just going to grab a re-inker as well for my white. And I'm just going to drop just one drop will be more than enough. And it's gooey, so it's nice and thick. Okay, I'm just going to stop and remind everyone, if you are wanting the written instructions for the card that we are making today, and that will have all of the colors, all of the measurements, all of everything, then I would suggest, if you are not on my newsletter list, head on over to alisatilsner.com. You'll see a subscribe button and you can subscribe to my newsletter, and then tomorrow I will be sending this out as a written tutorial in my newsletter so that you can recreate it yourself, and it'll have all the bits and pieces that you need to make things a little bit easier for you to follow along. All right, so next step. Hello, Bernadette. Yes, oh, well, we're supposed to be in spring already. She says, you're starting spring and we are at the end of our fall. Love watching as you create. Thank you. We are supposed to, actually, I think that might be a little bit on the green side. Let me just clean that off. We're supposed to be in spring, in the middle of spring. Actually, we're at the end of spring. Our summer is supposed to start, and I am still wearing jumpers. I'm still wearing jumpers, and some days I'm still even wearing a jacket. It is cold. Okay, so I've got my dot of white in here. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that and pick up some ink. Okay, I don't want it to, now if you put too much water in here, when you flick it on your card, it'll disappear. You won't be able to see it. So you want it reasonably thick, but not too thick that it won't flick. Okay, so it's sort of, you need to be able to see it, not too watery. Hello, Fiona. Okay, so I've loaded my brush up and it's really quite thick with, like full with. Now, I like to put my finger, I'll try and get this in the screen. Let me bring this closer to where I work. It might be easier. Okay, so I usually hit it on my finger and you can see that I'm getting, or you can tap it hard and that will give, depends, because when I do it on my finger, I get little flick marks and they've got shape to them. They look like they've got direction, but if I do a tap, then I get that nice splatter and the circle, the dots are round. Okay, so you can see that nice starry look going on. So I'll load my brush up again, and I am like very heavily thumping on my water brush. But you need your water brush nice and loaded, and I am actually getting white flicks all over my desk now, so that's fun too. Okay, so there's a lot more. You can see from where you are. You can see all the heavier lines, but I've got lots of little fine dots as well. But I'll bring this up to the screen and then give this a really, really good clean, because that white likes to stick in your brushes. So I would even take that to the sink and give it a good wash under there and a good flush. Take the barrel off, give it a good flushing. So I'm actually going to do that because I've used white a few times with this aqua painter now. So I think it needs a good old clean. I've got white starting to get sucked up into the barrel. So go and give them a good clean. I will bring this up so that you can see all the gorgeous night flickers going on in there. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. You can probably use a heat tool, but that'll buckle your card as well. So definitely, that's why I did this one first. I got to clean off all. I can see white dots all over on my desk. So allow that to dry. Do this portion of your card first, and I'll set it aside. I'll put it towards the back actually, and then we can move on with the rest of our card. Okay, so I have got, oh, what happened then? I have lost myself. There we go. Put that back in. I'm assuming I'm back. I don't know whether it was because I clapped my hands and all of a sudden it disappeared, or what happened there. Okay, I won't do it again. I just did it again. I'll just do it quietly. Okay, so I have already got my images colored. These are from the colouring class that I have. So if you are interested in stepping up your colouring, I do have a colouring class for St. Nick. It's on my blog. So it's about an hour and a half's worth of videos on in this class. I go through each of the colours. So it's underpainting and overpainting with pencils. So it's mixture of blends and pencils in the colouring class. So, and the ones that I have coloured here are my stepped up version. Yesterday I created with my beginner version, and then today I'm creating with my stepped up version. So let's get these guys, whoops, now get rid of you, come back to there. Okay, so let's get these two cut out with their matching dies, and then we can start our chimney as well. And I'm going to need to go and find, oops, oh, I need to go and also find the dies that I wanted to use, the basic borders dies. There's one that actually it might be too big, I'm not sure, but I thought we need a rooftop as well. You can't just have a chimney floating. Deborah has done the class, she has, and her colours, her colouring is pretty darn good. I'm going to say that. Very impressed. Okay, so cut him out. And I think that because we've got the red, the complementary colour for red is blue, and I'm hoping that by putting him on the blue background there for the night sky, it will really bring out his red, his gorgeous red coat. So, and I have done some grounding. This guy's got grounding on it as well. So I was unsure about die cutting them because I had done some grounding on them, but I think it will be okay. You can just see that little bit under his feet that he's got some shadowing going on. And this will have the same, it'll have a bit of a heavier base. So, but I don't think it'll be too noticeable. I like doing the grounding when I'm die cutting a whole picture, but when you're die cutting him out, you don't really need to put the grounding underneath it because it's got white all around it. Okay, I need a chimney now. So in these dies, the chimney is also the fireplace. Now you are going to, right, and I've already cut out, I had already cut out, because I was trying to play with him yesterday and I was going to use some snow, but so I've already cut those pieces out, and so I've got them already. I didn't end up using them yesterday. See, I'm being good and I'm using the bits and pieces. Instead of throwing them in the bin, I'm using them up. Okay, so these bits are your chimney and also your fireplace. So you have one going one way, and then you can turn it around and have it as the other way, and then you can put your, actually I don't know which way is the chimney. We don't have chimneys like this. I'm assuming that that's a chimney. I will look in the book, that will tell me, won't it? We don't have a fireplace like that, and we definitely do not have a chimney like that. Okay. So has everybody started making their Christmas cards? I know that you guys have just, because we don't celebrate Halloween much over here in Australia either. And so that sort of gets, you know, well and truly not used for me. I don't do any Halloween stuff, and we don't have Thanksgiving, and we're in spring, we're not in fall. So all of those seasons that you in the US celebrate, and also in Canada, UK, I don't know whether the UK are big on Halloween either, but so we sort of skip straight to Christmas. So I've been making Christmas cards for some time. Right, it goes that way. And so have you started your Christmas cards? Have you finished your Christmas cards? let me know. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of brown behind there. And the colour that I've used in my Santa sack there is pecan pie, speaking of Thanksgiving. And so I'm just going to put pecan pie, and it's already, like, I've used it the other day, so it's already got plenty of brown on my brush, as you can see. So just add a little bit more to it. Fiona is in Adelaide, and she said that she is going to start doing some Halloween cards next. Yeah, awesome. Do you have, was there many little trick-or-treaters come around? We don't have, I mean, there's a couple of houses here, but you have to sort of really put it out there on those community groups that, hey, yes, I am doing trick-or-treats. You can come to my house, because it's just not a big thing here. Bernadette says she's just finished her Halloween cards, onto Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Do you find it very stressful by the time you get to doing your Christmas cards though, or are you like, there we go, that's what I thought we might do, something like that. Pop our sack as if it's going down the chimney chute already, and then pop these guys on top. Only one group this year, lots last year. Yeah. And it's probably, I don't know, would they be younger kids or older kids? I guess if you're younger kids, they sort of go with their parents, don't they? Okay, is this dry yet? I don't think it is. I might just give it a real gentle blast with my... Fiona's finished her Christmas cards and posted overseas ones already. Oh, good idea. Because I think Australia Post is telling us to get those overseas ones in the mail pretty quick. Oops, I'm blowing almost everywhere. The last thing we want is smudges on our card. It is starting to buckle because of the heat now. Okay. What I might do is I've got a piece of well, I thought I had a piece of scrap paper down here. Maybe I can use that as instructions. I'm just going to lay that over the top without, there we go, just to pick anything else up that might be astray. Have a look at that. I reckon he's going to look pretty cool on that blue background. Okay, so I'm just using a white card base. And then it's just going to have a very fine white border. And then we'll have our Santa. How awesome does he look against that sky? Fantastic. And then we'll have our chimney. I hope it looks like a chimney. See, we definitely need a rooftop, because he looks silly just standing there next to a chimney, right? We need a rooftop. Do you think we need a rooftop, or do you think that that's okay? And I'm thinking I might, or should I put, no, because that'd look silly if I put him right at the bottom. I might have to do some form of, oh, Cheryl, thank you. I'm going to do a sentiment, and I've got with joy, peace and love, or the other one is many merry thoughts and wishes. I might do the slightly bigger one this time because I've got a bit more space to put across there. Just a small line, just a, yeah, it wasn't, I didn't want to do a big one. I just wanted to do like something to ground him so that it doesn't look like they're just, oh, looky here, we're just floating out in space. We can't just have him floating out in space. We need to actually have a bit of a rooftop, because I thought maybe I could do it flat and then just have it like slightly curved down, which is where I was going to use that the border dies, but I think the border die's actually got a scallop edge on it as well, which I could cut off, I suppose. Okay, I'm looking for, what am I looking for? A colour to stamp in. All right, I might do this blue here. Ooh, the azure. Maybe I'll do that color and see what it's like. And whoops, I've stamped that a little bit too thick. My wood has got a big blob on it. All right, I think it's because my ink pad's nice and juicy. So if you do have a nice juicy ink pad like this one is, ink blending is a really good, I'm just going to touch that in there. Ink blending is a really good way to, oh, I did it again. Anyway, that's okay. Actually, I reckon that, I don't know whether it's my stamp, because I did it with my black card too when I stamped it in black. Okay, fine. Ink blending is a really good way to dry up your juicy ink pad because you're taking a lot of ink off with those brushes. All right. I'm loving him. I'll have to bring him close up because, again, you guys can only see the big white spots, but I can see all of them and it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with this. Those colors just look fantastic. Now I'm going to duck off camera for a moment in a second, and I'm going to grab a little bit more crumb cake card. Oops. Gosh, I hope the swelling on my face goes down pretty soon because I can tell you it's making my card making a little bit tricky. With peace, love, and joy. Ta-da. Love, love, love. Okay, I'm just going to grab some extra card. My stash. And this is where all these little strips come in handy. Okay. So I am going to, where's my big trimmer so I can get all my measurements. Okay, so don't forget, if you are brand new, hello and welcome. If you would like a written tutorial for this card, I have my newsletter sign up over on my blog, which is alisatilsner.com. You'll see the subscribe button. You can subscribe to my newsletter and all the written instructions will be heading out for this card tomorrow. My time, Australia time, so less than 24 hours, and it'll list everything. And I do inches and centimeters so that we can all work our cards. We can all create them, and it's a standard size. Like my cards are 4 inches by 5 inches, so that fits in all of our envelopes as well. So we can't be making your card and then finding that it doesn't fit into your envelopes. So that is why I do it in a funny shape. I know, I'm weird, but I'm just trying to help you guys. All right, what sort of angle do I want for my rooftop? I think I'll just do that. Something like that. So I'm just drawing, I'm going to get rid of that now. I am just drawing a couple of cutting lines for me. You are welcome. So Fiona just said thanks for the written instructions. So I don't know, I just find it easier. Sometimes, you know, if you want to, if you're a visual person, then these videos work great. You can combine them. Actually, I might use my other tray for this. You can combine watching the video and following along with the tutorial, because with the tutorial you can go, right, I need all of this stuff, these are my measurements, get all your pieces together, come back and then craft along with me again. So let's try that under there. There we go. How's that look? Does that look a little bit more realistic? It looks a bit weird now, doesn't it? Looks just a little bit weird. Maybe if it needs to be a wee bit smaller. Probably needs texture. It probably needs like Oh, now have I cut that crooked? I think I have. What a twit. Now I can't even remember what I was saying. I think it needs to have you know what, I'm going to mess it up. If I keep doing that, I'm just going to mess it up. I think it needs to have like tiles on it, if you know what I mean, like so that you can understand that it's a roof. All right, I'll put a little bit of ink blending around it just so that it ties in with the chimney. Do you know what you could do if you were really good is that these little brick things here, you could always punch them all out and then glue them on. Me, not so much. But I think it does need something to say, hello, I'm a roof. I'm a roof. Okay. But that's okay, because it's got texture in the chimney. And I don't think there's a way to put any texture in it. I can't put those textures in it because it cuts out the shape. Anyway, that's okay. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, let's get this baby stuck together. Okay, I am enjoying it. And it's probably not going to need a whole lot of embellishments either because it's sort of like a scenescape going on. Now I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive than what I would normally do just because my card is a little bit buckled from the heat. Make sure I've got my card opening the right way. Line them up. Again, you can use glue, like liquid glue if you are happier using liquid glue. Okay. Well, don't smudge because I think I'm slightly damp still. Pat them down. All right. And then our rooftop. I might bring that right down to the bottom actually, so that there's not that white line going on. And then we can build. I'm going to pop him where I want him to stand. Actually, I could probably do some grounding on him after. All right, we'll pop our chimney right to the edge there. Top of our chimney. Actually, maybe I might put that one up on dimensionals actually. Changing my mind here. And I'm going to put it right out to the edge because I want to slip that Santa sack down in between those two dimensionals when it's stuck on the card. So I will do that because we want it to look like it's already going down. All right, move you out of the way, Mr. Santa. I'll bring you down a little bit more to make it a little bit shorter so that we don't have such a humongous tall chimney going on. Still got room for you. Got room for you to go down. Awesome. All right, let's get some of this little bit of snow going on. Do I trust this? Put the roof top through the embossing folder. I don't have, I could have, oh no, I don't have an embossing folder. I could have done a brick embossing folder, but I don't know that I've got a suitable one. Oh, come on. The other day it was just oozing out everywhere, and now it won't come out at all. We are not friends. Liquid glue and I, we do not mesh well together. All right, so let's pop that on the top. I'll scoot you out of the way, Santa. And I'm thinking a little bit of Wink Stella on these bits here. You know what would look really cool? If you put the shimmer embossing paste on there. That would look really cool as well. maybe I'll put that on there a bit later, and then we're going to put some snow down here. See, and I have no idea what I'm doing with the snow either, because, you know, we don't have snow where I live. Although I did see lots of snow when we went to Switzerland this year. That was fun. All right, so I'm going to put dimensionals for St. Nick. And a weeny one over there. Maybe I can try and draw some. I know what I might do. I might grab a pencil and just draw some lines or something on there. All right, St. Nick. Beautiful. And then just pop this one underneath and slip that down. There should be enough room between the two. I feel a bit of a pain, you know, after you've coloured that image, and then just to have half of it covered, but that's okay. All right, going down the chute, he's got all of his gifts. Now I'm going to put this one across here. So seal over here, dimensional over this side, mini ones. On the roof bottom, Christmas lights. Oh, can do that too. Interesting. That would be fun. What have they got in the dies? They've got tiny little circles in the dies. I suppose you could somehow, like there's a die here, it's just got tiny, tiny little circles. I guess you could sort of punch them all out and stick them down. You'd probably want to be smart and use adhesive sheets for that, maybe, which is what I always forget. Peace, love, joy, peace, and love. And let's put a little bit of Winker Stella on here. I'll just paint this on. I might actually come back. I won't do it on screen because I've probably bored you guys to tears already. I might come back and actually put a little bit of that sparkle shimmer paste on there, just sort of dab it on there. But we'll put some Winker Stella on for the moment, which might actually be enough with the snow. You probably can't see it, which is always the case on camera. You can't see them. But I think that will do. I'm not even going to bother putting any bling and embellishments on there. I might go back and play with the rooftop a little bit. I think I should have not had it so sharp. I should have made that a little bit wider, you know, not my angle, not so. So I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm done. I'm going to call it done. I'm not going to put any bling on it. How's that? No embellishments at all. Oh, can you believe it? No embellishments. Yeah, I think I should maybe have made these come out a little bit. It's a little bit of a sharp. We've got a bit of a, you know what? Well, the water will run off nicely, and the snow maybe not stick. I don't know what happens to rooftops with snow. So there we have it. Done. Calling it. That's it. Not going to touch. Maybe I'll go back and touch it a little bit afterwards, but I'll take a photo of it. Perhaps I'll take a photo of it as it is now, have a play with it in case I ruin it, and then take a photo of an after shot in case I improve it. You can never tell, right? And yeah, so there we go. There is our card. Oh, now I will show you, because I was going to sign off then, but I will show you. So that's what I had done earlier, a couple of months back, and that's looking at those same pieces but turning him into a fireplace instead of a chimney. So he is multi-purposeful. He can do all sorts of things. And then I created this one. I stamped him on crumb cake. I had never stamped and coloured on crumb cake before, so I quite enjoyed that process. Where it's white, I've used a white pencil. So that turned out really well. I was really happy with the way that that did. And then that was my one that I made yesterday. So, and for this one, I've flicked Wink of Stella over that yellow to give it a little bit of sparkle in the background as well. So they are the couple of cards I have made so far. I've still got a few images that I have coloured. So we'll see if I get time and turn him into more cards or not. Can never have too many Christmas cards, right? Excellent. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play with this one a little bit more. I'll do a before and after shot and see if I can do something with that rooftop so it's not just sticking out there, and maybe put some paste on my snow and see what we have for that. Maybe it's just some dots of, oh no, I'll stop thinking. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, and we will catch me over on my Facebook group. I don't know what we're going to look at next week yet. I'll probably decide that on the weekend, but I will let you know. Then Monday we'll probably do a spotlight review on that one, and then we'll look at whatever I pick for the rest of that week as well. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I'm not going to come back to me because of my red swollen face. Go back to the front of the video if you want to find out what I've done to myself. I'm hoping that it settles down soon. It's a little bit itchy, but it's not like I'm starting to feel the swollen areas under my eyes slowly starting to go down, but hopefully it doesn't take too long to clear up this time. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. See you later.